Okay, I am live and we're going to give it a few minutes. Today, I'm doing things a little bit differently. I won't be answering individual questions. Instead, I will do general Zodiac readings. This is also my first time doing an Instagram live. We'll see how it goes. Awesome. We're going to get started in a few minutes. Let me play some music in the meantime and check to make sure that I'm actually live on Facebook. So just give me a moment. Okay, I'm just sharing the live everywhere before we get started. If there's anyone watching from Instagram, I'd appreciate if you let me know if you can see me and hear me. All right. This is crazy. I'm streaming from my phone and my software. So I use software that actually helps me stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and it's not set up for Instagram yet. So I'm gonna be figuring this out with you all, okay? Let's see, I had to delete something from my PC. I might have to jump back on Instagram later because I need to use my phone for something. I will be back. How do I turn this off? Lord. I think people are joining. We'll get started in just a little bit, okay? I need to figure something out. Let's delete something. I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. All right, now I'm going to try to set this thing up for Instagram. Maybe I'm trying to go live on too many platforms at the same time. Let me set this thing up. Of course, that didn't work. Okay, so now I'm live across all platforms. Let me get the keyboard out of the way and get started with these readings. If you are joining today, I'd actually like to do general readings for each of the zodiac signs. I'm not expecting it to be super busy today, actually. It is Halloween or, whatever you want to call it. Let's go ahead and get started. Yeah. Hey, Laura, thanks for joining. I was trying to figure this thing out because I'm trying to go live on Instagram at the same time and it's just not working for me. And I need my phone to check in on what's going on with the live from Facebook and everything else. So, yes, let me go ahead and answer your question. But actually, tonight, what I'd like to do is go into a general reading for each of the signs. So, because you asked, I'll go ahead and answer. And if you'd like to stay on for your general reading for your sign, that's cool. Okay, so you want to know if your new guy that you're talking to will go anywhere, like if it'll go into a relationship. Okay. Let's pull a couple of cards into your energy, a couple of cards into his energy, and a couple of cards into the relationship. Okay. So I see that you're in a very loving space. Okay. It looks like you have a lot of love to give. Okay. I see a lot of water signs here. I mean, there's the Knight of Cups, there's the Queen of Cups. I think that you feel that your love for this individual is growing. What I'm seeing here on his end is the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands. So he could be a very passionate kind of person, could be sexy. The Knight of Wands can sometimes speak to a little bit of like a player energy. Okay. And with the Seven of Wands here, he could be he could have like a bit of like either it could be mixed emotions, okay, or it could be m- mixed feelings, mixed ideas. Like I don't think that he's settled. I don't think he's decided necessarily on the connection itself. I'm not seeing anything or sensing or feeling anything where he may be thinking any negative things about you, okay? I just think it's the energy that he's in. He's probably maybe he's been single for a while is what it is, and he's just thinking, "Oh, do I really wanna get out of this, and do I really wanna start something new?" Okay? But I get this very lighthearted, free, kinda single, player-ish, even if he's not actually seeing anybody. He might have played the field, might have been playing the field before meeting you. So I do see, like, a little bit of, it's not too congruent here, okay? You guys are not on the same page, but this could be a very new relationship, a very new energy. Okay. Now, as for the energy of the connection here, I've got the Chariot in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, I've got Hierophant. It could lead to some growth. It could lead to a relationship of some kind. Okay. It does have that potential. It's going to require um, that the two of you kind of figure each other out a little bit first. It needs work. I don't see that it's necessarily going to happen easily, but it will happen as long as the both of you make that decision to get together and to make it work. Because right now you're not on the same page. That doesn't mean you can't get there. There's a lot of communication that's going to be needed here so that you guys are on the same page. Okay. So that you guys know what you want from each other and what it is that you guys want out of the connection. And yes, I do think that ultimately it can lead to something more formal or more traditional, okay, with that Hierophant energy here. I hope that that was helpful. All right, so um, because it's the holiday, because it's Halloween, I'm not sure that it's going to be too busy tonight. So I was actually just going to do some general zodiac readings. For the collective, we can go ahead and start with Aries. For those of you that may not be too familiar with the zodiac, Aries are born between March 21st and April 19th, give or take a day. So I'm going to start off with the energies that surround Aries. We've got the Five of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Cups, we've got Strength in reverse, we've got the Six of Pentacles. Some of you are heartbroken. Some of you are, I'm feeling this is more of a, like a love, self-love kind of reading for Aries. Some of you might be releasing fears around a connection, whether it's a recently ended connection or a present connection. But even if it recently ended, I feel like some of that energy is carrying over into the present. Some of you may be feeling really down in the dumps, like you don't really know where to go from here, that you aren't where you need to be, you know, emotionally and otherwise. Some of you might be kind of drowning yourselves in your work. Aries are definitely action oriented, okay, signs. So I can see how an Aries may, especially if they're going through some kind of difficulty emotionally, may want to try to redirect their attention elsewhere and focus on their work. Some of them are really withdrawn inward, less outgoing, less, you know, forward facing. Okay, with the Eight of Cups here, yeah, there's something that you guys need to let go of. There's something that you need to transition away from. I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles. A lot of the Aries will need to be working on that give and take balance. Okay. Hi, Shamanta. Thanks for joining. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. You can certainly ask a question. I don't think it's going to be too busy tonight, so I'm going to get I guess what I can do is get to questions as I read each of the zodiac signs individually. So go ahead and drop the question and I will answer it after I get through the reading for Aries here. For anybody watching, I'm reading general collective energies by zodiac sign tonight. I will pick up individual questions, I guess, as they come in. So going back to what I was saying about the Aries, some of you will need to be working on either the give and take dynamic, okay, within your relationships in general, or you need to balance out your desire to dive into your work due to like a recent breakup or something that isn't necessarily going the way that you planned, for those of you that are involved in relationships, okay? Pulling some additional cards here to take a deeper dive into what may be going on with Aries, what it is that may need to be pulled or worked on to achieve balance. I'm seeing the Moon in reverse. I'm seeing Knight of Pentacles. I'm seeing the Devil. Devil's been coming up a lot, and that's got nothing to do with the holiday, okay? But Shamanta, I'm seeing your question. I'll get right to it. You know, the moon it speaks to secrets and things. Okay. A lot of times it's our shadow selves as well. It's things that maybe we're not necessarily wanting to confront head on. All right. But some of these things could be coming up for to the surface rather for Aries. And I'm seeing that this is a slower moving energy. So the Aries that this is resonating with might find themselves moving very slowly at this time, okay? As they work to release attachments and any negative kind of energy, but specifically self-limiting beliefs kind of thinking, codependencies, okay? Because this reading did start off with kind of like a love energy kind of feel for those of you that are going through a difficult time in your relationship or are coming out of a relationship or are still kind of healing from a relationship that ended, feels like recently. there's attachments and things that need to be released, okay? Codependencies and things like that, okay? This is going to be a very slow process, though. It seems like with the Knight of Pentacles here and with the Moon, there might be more things that you can kind of come into knowing, okay? Secrets and things like that, or just things from the relationship that could be coming up post like a breakup or post a separation, things that you may find yourself kind of thinking through, um, reminiscing even, just don't beat yourself up over it, because my sense is that some of you may want to do that. But yeah, Nine of Pentacles, I mean, this just kind of confirms, and I'm bringing down the reading. The Nine of Pentacles is kind of like the final outcome here. This is very much single energy, Nine of Pentacles energy. It is overall a content, okay, and even happy kind of energy. And the number 9 also signifies the closing of a cycle. For Aries that might be having, again, love related issues at this time, this is kind of what I'm seeing as a general kind of reading for Aries. Okay, Shamanta, by the way, I'm hoping that you share the live if you haven't already done so, and go ahead and make sure to like the page. Your question is, what does the universe have in store for your career and your finances? Let's take a look at that. So it seems like you're doing a lot of thinking around this. And I do see that you're in fact seeking guidance. You may not feel like you have enough information, potentially to even make a decision if you have any decisions pending, but I'm not seeing anything here that heavily, signals a decision that needs to be made. Actually, I just pulled it up. Here we go with the Lovers. So the Lovers speaks to decisions. Here it is. I kind of heard it, but I wasn't seeing it. And I was like, what's going on here? Do you have a decision pending of some kind, perhaps? With the Knight of Wands here in the reverse, it could be that you may not be employed at the moment, or you're not gainfully employed necessarily, or you're just not happy with your employment at the moment. And I'm seeing that with Justice here in the reverse, you're saying it true, it resonates. Yeah. I will tell you right now, yep, the Lovers, but the Lovers isn't always about love, Shamanta. It's also about decision making. It's about recognizing when there's, you know what? I just realized I should have changed the screens so you could see the cards better. There you go. With the Lovers, it's about recognizing that you may have a couple different options, okay? And some of these options may seem easier or more accessible, but they don't always necessarily mean that they are better for you. Okay. There's actually a lot of like biblical reference as it relates to the Lovers within the tarot for this card specifically. So it's kind of like the path of good, the path of evil. Something might be more lucrative, for example, but it may not be what's best for you. All right, so it's being able to make those decisions carefully. You're saying you're seeing reverse cards. Yeah, you've got a couple of reverse cards here, but it doesn't, I wish people wouldn't look at it as necessarily a negative thing. It could be internalized energy. It could also be underdeveloped energy. It doesn't always mean a no or anything like that. That's very basic reading. People shouldn't be looking at the cards like that. There's so much more to the cards. There's, light and shade to every card, okay? So with the King of Wands in the reverse, like I said, maybe you're not gainfully employed, maybe you're not happy, maybe you're not employed at all. You're giving this a lot of thought. It seems to me that you want a job that is fulfilling. You might be a spiritual person, is kind of what I'm picking up on. But with Justice here in the reverse, it could be that something needs to be balanced or come into balance before you're able to find either that next job, or you're able to have some clarity around what it is that you may choose if you're looking at different possibilities in terms of where you could take your career as opposed to actual jobs. Because I'm seeing the Hermit here, and there's a lot of major arcana, by the way, so this might take some time. You're trying to move abroad in a new country. Okay. I'm not seeing travel here. I'll tell you that right now. What I am seeing though is a lot of with that Hermit energy. This is taking a step back and trying to look at the bigger picture of things. So there's a lot of work that needs to take place just to make sure that you have the clarity, okay, that you seek around your career. Because again, with that Two of Swords, I'm reading that as you're maybe not very clear around what's next for you. But I'm not seeing anything here that speaks to moving abroad, at least not right away. Seems like there might be some things that, again, you need to release around, your career, maybe self-limiting beliefs and some negativities. It's more like mental is what I'm sensing. You said you're currently doing multiple things. Maybe that's what the Lovers is about. Carefully navigating that and making the best choices for you and for your career. There's a Queen of Swords here also in the reverse. So again, a very analytical kind of energy, mental energy with that Two of Swords. Hermit, a lot of thought, a lot of taking in the bigger picture. The Five of Cups here in the reverse. And the Five of Pentacles, 5 being the number, the energy of being neither here nor there. Okay, not necessarily being able to move forward. But with these two cards right next to each other, I'm looking at that as, again, doing a lot of that internal work. And I do think that that's what needs to come into balance here with Justice in reverse, is what these two cards speak to. So again, you're saying true, you're struggling alone. That's why you feel worries and anxious. Okay. Yeah, you got to release that. You got to let it go. But that Five of Pentacles here, with the Five of Pentacles, this is an interesting card because this individual here, this is not the original deck, okay? But I'm going to explain it to you because that might bring some insights for you. This individual's got their head in between their legs. They're so focused on their own bad situation that they can't even see what's behind them. Okay, those pentacles there, they actually represent lights, they represent windows. This right here is a card that speaks to getting support through others. It's also about relying on the universe and having that trust and that faith that the universe will provide for you as well. But the Five of Pentacles is very much about reaching out to your community, your family, your network, your religious situation, or institution, whatever you believe in, just for additional support. You're asking if it's a bad situation. No, it's not a bad situation. It's a confused situation. I think that when you have more clarity around exactly what it is that you want and where you want to go, things will move for you. Because right now, all of this is kind of like I wouldn't say stuck, because it's not bad to be stuck. We sometimes need to be in place without movement to spend that time doing that internal work to get clarity. Once we have clarity, our actions, our energy, our focus, everything is aligned to what we know that we want. And at that point, things will start opening up and moving for us. Okay. So it's not a bad thing. It's just more of a confused thing. So with the Two of Swords, the guidance is to reconnect with your intuition to get the answers that you seek. Hermit, same thing. Do that internal work. Try to take a step back from the immediate situation and take a look at the bigger picture of your life. Okay. You've got Justice here in the reverse. That's an underdeveloped energy that tells me that things are not in balance for you, and only you can get yourself there through the power of, choices. Okay. And discernment. This card speaks to discernment. You've got 3 major arcana. All the other cards are minor. These are major life lessons that you need to learn to turn your situation around. Okay. Everything else is a quicker moving energy. The fact that your employment situation is not ideal, it requires a lot of thought, like we talked about already. Okay. That mental focus. And also you need to release those fears. The 5 of Cups as well very much speaks to the same thing as the 5 of Pentacles, focusing on what's not working as opposed to focusing on what is working. All right? And when you focus on one thing, it doesn't matter what it is, you're only going to manifest more of the same. Okay? You're saying that you're with your family, you're working on your family situation, but that's also not well, and you also feel an imbalance. Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely see that. It's a confused energy. It's imbalanced here. And what I'm telling you is that, I do manifestation tarot reading. So from a manifestation perspective, we're only going to continue to attract and draw in what we focus on. As long as you keep focusing on these things, you're going to bring more of that. So it can be difficult at times to break free, if you will, especially when our mind tends to do things in the same way over and over and over. It's kind of like having your brain be stuck on recalculating. All right. The Hermit here is one of the major arcana cards. All right. And with the Lovers, but the Hermit here is the one that really speaks to me right now. You have to try to take a step back and try to figure out what the bigger picture is for your life and what those patterns are. You identify the patterns, okay? And then you'll have more information around what it is that you can do to change those patterns. Patterns of thought, patterns of emotion and the way you feel, patterns of behavior, pattern of actions, okay? So you're saying inner struggles, they're more hard than field struggles. I'm not sure I quite understand that. And you're saying you're counting, I'm counting. Um, don't quite understand that comment either. I'm very big into numerology. I can speak about numbers all the time and the energy around the numbers and what they mean. I find that the numbers add to an extra layer, an extra, dimension, extra meaning to a tarot reading. So you're saying yes, counting, so I'm not counting. So you're counting. Okay. Not too clear on what that means, but I do hope that that answers your questions. Really, your answer here and what it is that you need to do. The actions are to connect with your intuition, allow intuitive thought to come in. Hermit here, again, taking a step back. Stop focusing on the struggle. Take a step back. Look at the bigger picture of your life. See if you can identify any patterns and then you're saying that I said that you're counting a lot of things. Not counting, rather focusing on the things that are not working, as opposed to really practicing gratitude for the things that are working. So it's you got to switch your focus, okay? And really that's the guidance here. Like I said, connecting to your intuition, taking a step back, looking at the bigger picture, again doing that inner work. Yes, intuitive work is very hard. It's much more harder than physical, actual hands-on work. You're absolutely right. But which is what you feel. Okay, I get it. But remember that your internal condition dictates your external experience. Okay? It all starts within. Everything in our life experience is ourselves projected outwardly. So we have to go inward. We have to do the intuitive work. That is the guidance for you. That's how you're going to turn that situation around. Okay? All right. So for anybody jumping in, you're saying you're tired. Oh, I understand. I know. And we'll continue to re-experience the same things over and over until we finally learn differently, is usually how it goes. Not always, but that's how it can happen a lot of times for a lot of people. You're saying you're going through that for a long time? Yeah. I understand. I hope that reading was helpful and provided you clarity. Thank you for tuning in. Please do share the live. I love helping people and speaking with people. So the more people I can get on these lives, the better. All right, I'm going back to general readings. We just finished Aries, and now I'm going to read Taurus. So this reading is for people that are born between April 20th and May 20th, give or take a day. Oh, we're starting with the Queen of Wands. We're going with Four of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Four of Wands. Oh, Lord. Four of Wands in reverse, and Justice also in the reverse. Okay, so with that Four of Pentacles, especially the way that I, for whatever reason, ended up. Shamanta, yes, too much helpful. You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope to see you again next time. All right. So I was just talking about, I'm just starting the general reading for Taurus with that Four of Pentacles here. In the way that I kind of, I feel like my attention was meant to be drawn to that Four of Pentacles. That Four of Pentacles energy is a very internal kind of energy. And as it relates to Pentacles, a lot of you might actually be finding yourselves clutching onto your money bags. Close hold, literally, as is the imagery in this card. With Taurus, we like stability. I'm a Taurus too, so we tend to like stability. We tend to like, really strong finances, a strong financial position. And perhaps, with the way that, that card was dragged over here, it kind of seems to take a more important role here in this reading. So I'm kind of focused on that at the moment. But with the King of Wands, I get the sense that I'm today specifically speaking to Tauruses that tend to be more spiritual, such as myself, actually. Eight of Cups here, I'm feeling is a part of the guidance and is what's going to help us reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with that Four of Wands here, which is very much, again, an internalized need, an internalized energy. With wanting, and really desiring like foundation. Again, just everything here. This, Four of Pentacles upright, this one in reverse. Four of Wands is very much about foundation, okay? So this could be homes, it could be family life. What I'm seeing here is kind of like a returning to home for the Taurus, all right? Coming, really relying on that spirituality, because again, it's a king energy, so it's a more developed spirituality. But while focused on the financial monetary matters, needing to walk away from any difficulties there and that close hold around finances, going through the emotional work with the Eight of Cups and walking away from things that no longer serve the Taurus, which includes the energy of that close hold, all right, around finances, will help us achieve this Four of Wands energy, which is about that stability and that foundation, and bring things back into justice, or into, balance for us. Shamant, I'm seeing that you're saying thanks for wonderful readings. It resonates, okay, with you, especially now, okay? You don't know what's coming for you, but you hope things will get better and you'll follow the guidances. Okay, I will definitely pray for you, Shamanta. See you. I appreciate your time too. Thank you. You have a good evening. All right, let me pull a few more cards for Taurus. Okay, a couple more cards here with stronger energy. Okay, them being in the upright, major arcana. I heard contracts right away when I saw that Hierophant. Some of you might be walking into new opportunities that are more, structured, like contract related or involving a contract. This could certainly speak to opportunities. Temperance here, I feel, is just kind of echoing some of what I already said, with bringing balance and also maybe providing us a sense of peace, okay, and patience as we kind of work through this. I say we because, again, I'm a Taurus, for those of you watching. Seven of Pentacles energy here in the reverse. So yeah, maybe having waited a long time for this. And this Two of Wands is more of this planning, kind of looking forward, but there's also like this other more calm kind of understanding with that Two of Wands, and that we're talking about ships, patiently waiting for one's ships to come in. All right. And look, the Fool. This is a very good reading overall. I'm seeing that progression. I'm seeing that journey. And with the Fool, this is the beginning of something new. Okay. Usually a new level within one's energy. journey. Or it could be that having done some of this work, we're then going to find ourselves in a position where we can start a new journey, okay, or something new. Could be anything. Wonderful. That's actually not too bad for Taurus. All right, let's take a look at Gemini. Gemini's next. So it's a general reading for Gemini. These are individuals born May 21st through June 20th. All right, Gemini. Oh, Geminis are in a good place, I think. Let's start it off with a kind of stronger energy. They feel like they're victorious. Some of them could be celebrating. Yeah, they're definitely coming out of some, seems like heavier energy, could be related to their work situation, work circumstances, releasing of things that maybe have been going on for some time. And with the star in the reverse, yeah, I'm getting a sense that this is kind of like a period of time in which Geminis may be feeling kind of more rejuvenated. They might be feeling like they're in a better place overall, like they've reconnected with their authentic selves, okay? With the King of Wands here in the reverse, the message could be to evaluate with judgment here. Evaluate where your spiritual standing is at the moment. This could involve spiritual practices. This could involve work related matters too, because the wands can be read as, spirituality as well as work, but more of the hands-on physical work. I pulled an extra card here, but I've got the Tower in the reverse. Yeah, I get the sense that this is more of a work reading than anything else. This is very much for the collective today, for the Geminis, okay? Specifically, this is very much a work and labor kind of reading. And what I'm seeing is perhaps some back and forth here a little bit between being really worried and not so worried. Okay, so for some of you, again, maybe you came out of a particular situation, or you reconciled with a situation, or just kind of what may be happening in your life at this time. Maybe you've reconnected with that internal peace. Again, you've reconnected with that kind of like rejuvenation, okay, and that refreshing kind of energy with the star here. Now you're feeling like you're in a better place, and it's a stronger energy, a higher vibe kind of energy. I totally see that and feel that. But there might be something here that needs to be evaluated, because for some of you with the Tower in the reverse, you may still be resisting some kind of upheaval, some kind of, you know, tower moment. So while you're in a good place and you may feel high vibe and more victorious, okay, perhaps underlying that, you're still worried or concerned with something going wrong. So the guidance here with judgment is to spend some time evaluating this, okay? Everything that you may be going through or have gone through recently, spend some time evaluating that so that you don't fall back into some kind of cycle, okay? With the Eight of Pentacles here in the reverse, this speaks to cycles a lot of times, and having reached a level of mastery, ideally, after having experienced some of the same things over and over. So there's just a lot of learning here. So for the Geminis, you definitely want to, again, spend some time evaluating kind of where you've been, maybe how you got out of that, so that you are making sure not to repeat any of the same cycles, okay? And with the Three of Wands here in the reverse, seems like it's a bit of underdeveloped energy, but seems like once you get through this, you might find yourself in a place where you feel like you're just starting to take steps forward, okay? Yeah, with the Devil here in the reverse, you may need to continue to do more release work. Yeah. And that is what I'm picking up for Geminis this evening. Let's see who's next. Okay, Cancers. This is a general reading for Cancer individuals born between June 21st and July 22nd. Let's take a look at what's in store for Cancer. All right, Cancers. This is very much an emotional reading for most of the Cancers that might watch this and tune in. I sensed right away that this may be more of, if not like a love reading per se, it's more of an emotional, kind of like emotional state reading for Cancers. With the Lover's card here and the High Priestess in the reverse, there could be a lot going on emotionally, internally, that you may not necessarily be expressing, which would be somewhat unusual for Cancers, okay? But with the Devil here in the reverse, I keep picking, this card keeps showing up for the general collective, and look, the Wheel also in the reverse. There, and the Two of Cups in the reverse. Now I'm feeling it could actually be more of a love reading, or a reading that touches on your closest partnerships. But there could be some codependencies and things. There could be things that are just not working out in general between your partner. And it could be more mental, more than anything, especially with the Five of Swords and the Page of Swords here. Make sure that you're not, Cancer can be such an emotional sign. If you get in your head about it, you kind of step away from your nature. But it seems like you're allowing yourself, or you will be allowing yourself, to go through those emotions and feel, and then end up finding yourself going into your head anyway, because that's kind of what I'm seeing, from the heart to the head. And with the Nine of Cups here, you could be very focused on wish fulfillment, obtaining wish fulfillment. But look, this Eight of Pentacles here in the reverse, also I feel like there's cycles. And honestly, regardless of sign, what I've seen so far with, Aries, Gemini, Taurus, and now Cancers, is a lot of the same kind of messaging. So I guess as a collective, maybe a lot of us are kind of dealing with some of the same. But you've got the Five of Swords here. It could be a very mental energy. It's an energy of being neither here nor there. It's kind of like agree to disagree, okay? Not a lot of forward movement. Again, Ace of Swords. Some of you may be waiting for some sort of communication. Okay, could be from your partner after having gone through all of this and what this may represent for your individual situations. And with the Page of Swords here in the reverse, don't fall into any traps around like checking up on them online, or being overly focused on what they may be doing or not doing. All right, and with the Seven of Wands here in the reverse, some of you may also be receiving some sort of interference from external parties as it relates to your connection, or as it relates to what you may be going through with your partnerships, okay, even if they're not necessarily romantic. So I'm really looking at this reading from more of a connections standpoint, any and all connections, as opposed to just romantic. But it could be, like I said, some of you may just not feel, looking at this a little bit more broadly here, some of you may not feel like you're very connected, or that there are some hiccups and things within your connections and your relationships, okay? And you may want to kind of step away from the heart and into your head space. And maybe because you want to analyze, you want to try to figure out, you might want to try to study, like kind of fall into that more studious kind of energy around what's happening with your connections or your romantic partnerships, if you are in one and this reading is resonating with you specific to a romantic partnership, okay? That's kind of what I'm seeing in general energy for Cancers. All right, if you're just joining tonight, it's not super busy, probably because it's Halloween and people are out and doing stuff. So I'm doing a general Zodiac reading, and I've already completed Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. I'm moving into Leo. And if you have a specific question, feel free to drop it in the comments and share the live. I'd appreciate that. But otherwise, I'm going to continue these general Zodiac readings. And for anyone watching this after the fact, go ahead and comment #replay. Definitely helps the algorithm. Give me lots of hearts. Helps boost the live. All right, so Leos. I see the Queen of Cups in reverse, 7 of Cups, King of Swords, the Tower, and I see Judgment in the reverse. And the 4 of Swords. So in the heart of the matter, I'm seeing that some of you may be either going through it or may find yourselves in the calm right before the storm, and you know it. That's kind of how I'm reading this. You're here trying to make decisions. You're thinking through things. Be careful, because the 7 of Cups can speak to, there's 7 cups. They all have different things inside them. It could be a card that is really warning you to just choose carefully, because you might be finding yourself in the calm right before the storm, so to speak. Okay. With the King of Swords here, I see some of y'all are maybe thinking about it, trying to be calm, trying to be fair, trying to pass a sort of judgment, if you will, because I also see the Judgment card here in the reverse. All right. So you may be just trying to decide what to do. With the Queen of Cups, some of you may be trying to tap into your emotions around the matter, really figuring out how you feel about this. You might be tapping into your intuitive side as well. With the 4 of Swords, some of you may be reconnecting with, again, that spirituality, that spiritual part of yourselves, to be able to move forward and make these decisions, okay? And some of you might be needing physical rest or focusing on physical rest, but whatever it is, it doesn't seem like, at the end of the day, your efforts may not really support you, because it looks like whatever this is going to come to a head. It's going to happen. Yeah. And with the Hermit, afterwards, you might need to reevaluate what's going on. And again, with Judgment here in the reverse, but I feel like that's really the messaging here. With the Hermit, you got to try to step back and look at things from a bigger picture. I feel like this is going to be a learning lesson, okay? But with the 2 major arcana, or 3, major arcana, like the Tower moment, Hermit, and then Judgment here, I think that ultimately the learning, the deeper learning for you from this situation or matter coming to a head is making better decisions, evaluating things more carefully to prevent these situations from happening. That's really what I'm seeing here for the Leos. And this is something that you may already be finding yourself in. I see that this is something that is going to come into your experience sooner rather than later here with the Tower, okay? All right, so Virgos are next. General reading for Virgos. These are individuals born between August 23rd and September 22nd. Let's do a general reading for Virgo. Queen of Wands in reverse, 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands in reverse, the Tower, and 5 of Wands. So Virgos, honestly, what I'm seeing here is that some of you may not be feeling very happy at the moment, honestly, very joyous. Some of you might be just really tired. Okay, again, with that Ace of Wands in the reverse, Not feeling very expansive, joyous. Crystal, hey, thanks for joining. No, I have not done Sagittarius yet. I'm going in order. I am reading Leos at the moment, but if you'd like, I'm sorry, I'm reading Virgos. So I've got, Libra, Scorpio next prior to Sagittarius, but because you're on, if you'd like, I can go ahead and just, as soon as I wrap up with Virgos, I'll jump ahead to Sagittarius. Hey, Aparna, thanks for joining. A career reading? Sure. I'm doing general Zodiac readings tonight. So reading by the signs. But if you hold on for a few minutes till I finish the reading here for Virgos, I'm happy to answer your question. Okay. After I read Sagittarius, because you have one person in front of you. All right. So I've been keeping these general readings rather short because, tonight's not super busy, probably because of the holiday. So Virgos, you all might just be in a more funky state, honestly, not too happy, tired, not feeling very creative or expansive, as I was just saying. And you've got the tower moment. So you could be dealing with something difficult or find yourself experiencing a difficult situation sooner rather than later. And you've got the 5 of Wands. So I have a feeling that this situation is related to friends, like ankle biting you, like things happening behind your back that you may not be aware of. But you've got the wheel here. So something new is going to start for you guys. Yeah, I think it's related to either a new network, like a new support kind of a network. Could be new friendships, could be new acquaintances. When I say support network, it's just people in your circle. I feel like some of you are realizing that you need to switch out your circle. You need to switch out your friends or something. That's what I'm seeing here. And perhaps this is very upsetting and very uncomfortable to Virgos. Okay. I don't necessarily feel that, generally speaking, Virgos are opposed to change, but change can be difficult for most people. Okay. I think it's just a human thing. We generally don't like change, but I think intuitively speaking, a number of you feel like something just quite isn't right with your inner circle. And when you have that realization, you might go through like that tower moment, so to speak, feel very uncomfortable with these individuals that are not supportive within your inner circle, and you're going to want to end things. Okay. And that might very well be what the tower is representing, is ending some connections, ending friendships, even ending relationships within your inner circle that just may not be very valuable to you any longer. Okay. Don't be afraid to do that. Once you do that, with the wheel here, things should hopefully open up and turn around for you, Virgo. Don't be afraid to switch out what needs to be switched out in your inner circle. Hey, Real Face. Thanks for joining. Happy Halloween to you too. I'm doing well. You want to know what's coming towards you on the Halloween night? Any luck by your side? Okay. I'll check into that in just a moment. I have 2 other individuals in front of you, so it's not too bad of a wait. I was doing general readings. Things are kind of slow tonight. I was doing general readings by sign. So Crystal's next. I'm jumping ahead from Virgo. I'm skipping Libra and Scorpio for the moment, just to read Sagittarius. And Crystal, if you're still on, if you have a specific question, go ahead and drop it. I'm happy to answer it. That's fine. Today's a slower evening. So, general reading for Sagittarius, Knight of Swords. Okay, so a little bit of impulsive energy here. Act now, think later kind of energy, and that's fine. Yeah, I'm seeing that there's not a lot of thought going on. Perhaps there should be, with the Hermit here in the reverse and a Knight of Swords. Make sure that you're doing, Queen of Wands also in the reverse. What I'm getting here for Sagittarius in general is to slow down. Slow down and take some time considering the bigger picture in your life, the things that could be happening and the reason behind why they could be happening. So doing a lot of thinking and more of that internal work reflection. Okay. With the Nine of Swords, there might be things that you don't find helpful or useful anymore. I think that this is like a moment or time to purge for so many signs. Honestly, I keep kind of seeing the same messages, hearing kind of like the same things coming in. Um, Releasing, a lot of releasing for you. It could be a lot of mental activity, okay? Things that keep you up at night, things that give you stress, things that, I mean, this is like mental anguish, okay? It's one of the strongest cards around, you know, mental activity and mental thoughts, negative mental thoughts, okay? You want to tap into that true Sagittarius energy, which is so expansive. It's usually very positive. It's usually very creative. It's usually very open to like new experiences, and it's usually open to travel and, exploration and things like that, and learning. So what I'm seeing is a lot of like more emotional, heavier, I'll say darker, but I say it lightly. Um, Heavier emotional energies here, a little bit more on the negative side. And perhaps the Knight of Swords also speaks to wanting to run from all of that. But the guidance here is not to run from any of that if you're experiencing some of these more negative, heavier emotions, but rather go internal and do that internal work. And with the Seven of Swords, some of you may be feeling like you've been betrayed or you don't have enough support around you. For some of you, um, yeah, there's so much sword energy in this reading that, and look, and the Ten of Cups also in the reverse. I just feel like this is a generally heavier, maybe more negative time for Sagittarius. Just speaking very generally, it might not resonate with you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But instead of not facing the issues and running away from the issues here, you want to actually go inward. You want to do that internal work. You want to release whatever might be upsetting you or keeping you up at night here, okay? Tap into that Queen of Wands energy, that more expansive, happier, celebratory energy. Same with the Ten of Cups. Keep your mind, and look, Seven of Swords in the reverse. Initially, I heard, aside from betrayal or maybe feeling alone, I heard a little bit of strategy maybe, or just like giving some thought as to what you can do next. Seven of Swords is about kind of like a thief working in the night. Think of that. A thief that works in the night needs to get in, needs to get out very quickly, needs to have a strategy, needs to be very smooth. So with that said, you might have to, if you're already in that mental space, instead of dwelling on negatives, start thinking around strategies and things that you can do to really tap into that Ten of Cups energy here. The happy ending kind of card. Okay. I hope that was helpful for Sagittarius. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read Aparna, and then Real Face, you're next after that. So Aparna, you want a career reading. Let's take a look at what's going on for you. You've got Temperance in reverse. You've got Chariot. You've got the Knight of Pentacles. You've got the Lovers. Wow, there's so much major arcana. You've got the Five of Swords here in reverse. So many of these cards, the majority of them here, 3 out of 5 are major arcana. So you could find yourself going through maybe some just heavier stuff. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but there's a lot of, generally speaking, with major arcana, a lot of life lessons kind of energy. Okay, so this could be something that may, even if it's coming across as a more difficult or more of a challenge, it's a time of deeper learnings for you. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. In the heart of the matter, you feel that things are not working out or they're going too slowly. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of all of the knights, but he's also a steady Eddie. It's coming along. It'll come along in its own time. Okay, we're still talking about the realm of the material, and again, very much finances related, because we're talking about the pentacles. So at least you're in the right place. Okay, it's not working for you as you'd like, but it is going in the right direction. All right. Seven of Swords, update your resume. There's something around this here. Your resume might not be strategic enough. Um, you might actually need to consult with somebody that rewrites resumes professionally. Okay. Take a look at your resume because that's what I heard. You've got the Ace of Wands. Perhaps there's not enough passion coming through and creativity coming through and desire. Like maybe you're getting interviews, but you're not doing the best job of demonstrating that that desire to actually have the job, if that makes sense, like the passion behind it and the creativity. But with the Ace of Wands, at least again, this card is in the upright. So there's potential here. You could alternatively, another way to look at this, you could be tapping into that internal fire and that internal drive to get this night to move a little faster, if you will. Okay. It could be as well that in working through your resume and working through your presence and the way that you're showing up for your career, that you will be naturally exuding more of that passion and drive and creative energy. The work is coming, the career is coming. If you're looking for a job change or you're looking for a promotion or something like that, again, it could be that you need a little bit of a strategy to be able to do that for yourself and to create it for yourself. But the Eight of Wands is certainly a growth. It's a potential. Okay, it's the beginning of something new. All right, so perhaps you need to, it could go either way. Perhaps you need to reconnect with your internal passion, or this could also be saying after doing a little bit of that work, okay, it will come. Okay, you'll naturally exude more of that. There are some decisions you need to make, okay, and you cannot be afraid to move forward with the Chariot. Temperance here in the reverse tells me you might be impatient. You might be impatient. Yeah, you've got the Page of Swords here also in the reverse. Maybe you're spending a lot of time online looking for work. Maybe there's something that you need to learn. Maybe you're like following, I'm hearing trending, maybe there's trends and things that you're paying attention to or you should be paying attention to. I feel like there's a little bit of learning potentially in that area, but with Temperance in the reverse, either maybe you need to, if you're spending a lot of time online, back up away from it. Okay. Find a little bit more balance. Perhaps you need to explore different platforms or avenues, okay, to get your next work or your next job or your next opportunity. But when it comes through, and it will come through, you have to be decisive. I feel like sometimes with the Chariot here, if you're not absolutely sure inside what it is that you want exactly, okay, then you're going to get mixed results. And with the Lovers here, these two cards, they pretty much mean the same thing. One is making decisions pretty much, and the other one is, actually moving on those decisions, like taking the action behind the decisions, all right, and not holding back. With the Lovers here, you may also need to focus on partnerships. Again, networking, things like that is possible. But in the context of this reading, and because it's a career reading, I feel like this is more about making decisions and being decided and then following it up with the actual action needed behind the decision to get you the results that you want. Okay, because this right here in the heart of the matter, I just see a slow moving energy in terms of your career. That's all it is. It's not stagnant, it's moving. It's a steady eddy. It's slow but surely kind of an energy. But if you want to speed things up, again, do a little bit more of that strategy and research, reconnect with that internal passion, drive, creativity, and make sure that it's coming through and it's showing when you're interviewing, when you're rewriting your resume, things like that. Okay. Because this Five of Swords energy here in the reverse isn't really going to serve you. Okay. Again, clarity. I keep seeing and hearing like clarity may be needed to really bring in your manifestation. You have to be clear on what it is that you want so that your actions and everything aligns with that. The Hierophant here in the reverse, make sure to, I feel like in this case, is telling me to stay away from contracts. Maybe contract work is not for you. Maybe you need to consider employment. Okay. Three of Wands. I do see forward movement. There could potentially be some travel involved with your next role, or maybe you might find yourself needing to travel, or maybe considering driving a little further out for your next opportunity, that kind of thing. Okay. That's what I'm seeing here. I hope that that was helpful for you, Aparna. All right, so real face, you're next. You want to know if, so this reading is for tonight is what you're asking for, and you want to know if you have luck by your side. Okay, let's take a look at, give me a second. You're saying yes? So for tonight, no. I'm so sorry, no. I'm not seeing it. In fact, let me tell you what I'm seeing. Something is still out of balance. And we talked about this recently around give and take, around blessing so that you may be blessed and things like that, like giving so that you may receive. It's like giving so that it may be multiplied back. I'm seeing the same thing right here with the Six of Pentacles. I'm seeing the Tower moment. I'm also seeing the Three of Swords in reverse. Make sure that you're not getting frustrated. Like if you're getting really upset and angry and frustrated and you're just like, throwing in the towel and that kind of thing, you say you love the way that I put my 100% in the readings. I sure do, because I really do enjoy this. I really and when the message comes in strong too, I like to share it. But yeah, because I feel like you could be coming up into this Tower moment, okay? You're a giver since birth, but you do get frustrated. So then if you are over giving, real face, then you need to balance that. There has to be a balance. This is a give and take dynamic that needs to be in balance. So if you over give, then maybe you need to work on setting boundaries for yourself. But like I said, with the Tower and with the Three of Swords here in the reverse, you could be coming up against like an internal kind of tower. And when I say tower, this is a crumbling. This is kind of like an anger. This is a frustration. This is everything going to the trash, so to speak. Okay. But with the Three of Swords here in the reverse, there's a lot of like energy and that can get trapped inside the heart. And sometimes we could use that in a positive way because it's an energy. When we finally release it, it's kind of like a catalyst. It can give us energy to move forward. So we can turn that Three of Swords in the reverse energy. We can turn it around and have it serve us. Okay. You're saying that you strongly agree with me, that you just started doing it or saying no. You learned to say no. Good. Keep saying no. Put yourself first. All right. There's something here that we talked about it as last time. It's the same card, the same meaning, that give and take and that balance. But make sure that when you come up against any frustrations and you want to just give up and throw it away and you want to just say, like throw it all away, make sure that that you see if you can transform that, see if you can alchemize it, see if you can use all of that internal emotion in a more positive way. Okay. Because when that energy that can get stuck in the heart finally comes out, it can come out very aggressively and negatively, or it could be used as a like fuel, like fuel to the fire to help us move forward. But make sure that you're not finding yourself in a position where you're going to act now, think later. Don't do that. The Knight of Swords moves very fast. It's the fastest moving knight of the tarot. Okay. But sometimes it's impulsive. It's impulsive energy. So just be easy. Take it easy, okay? I hope that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in again. And share the live, please. Get your buddies to subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So I'm going back to the general readings for the zodiac signs. I just finished with Virgo, and I'm now going to read Libra. So Libras are individuals born between September 23rd and October 22nd. Okay. September 23rd, October 22nd, we've got the Libras. Let me go ahead and read the Libras. And I'm kind of upset. I tried to go live on Instagram and it didn't really work. And I'm just thinking about that now. All right, so I'm seeing King of Wands. I'm seeing the Magician. I'm seeing Queen of Cups and Five of Swords in the reverse. You know, I'm seeing a lot of the same cards for most of the signs, okay, with very little kind of change in the meanings. You know, I feel like a lot of what I'm saying is almost repetitive at this point. Real face, it is helpful. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night ahead. Thanks again. Thanks to you as well for joining. Thank you. Best of luck. All right, so I'm reading the Libras. So, King of Wands and the Magician. Libras, I think, you know, what I'm sensing is actually Libras are generally in a good place, or emotionally speaking, you know, the drive is there to get things done. They feel balanced, it looks like. With the King of Wands, I'm getting the sense that this is more of like an energetic, spiritual kind of reading for Libra tonight, as opposed to like work, love, you know. I get the sense that they're in a good place overall. They're working on their manifestations. They're really tapped in emotionally. They're intuitive. Some of you may be intuitive, is what I'm getting. So I mean, I'm looking at these three as just being in a good place overall. Okay, emotionally, spiritually, and with work, or again, more of that spirituality. It's good spread here. Five of Swords in the reverse, and the Wheel in the reverse. I feel like Libras generally are probably giving a lot of thought to cycles, or the beginning of something new. I don't think that Libras are, even though they're in a good place, they might be trying to figure out what the delay is for those of you that are looking to start something new. Some of you, alternatively, this could be read as some of you are doing the work to create your manifestations, but there could be some delay here, okay, as you guys get more clarity, as you're more tapped in intuitively with the Queen of Cups, and as you're doing more of the action taking, okay, with the King of Cups here. But again, King, Queen, these are more developed stages of development, if you will, within a manifestation. All right. So I am seeing that overall Libras are in a good place right now. Some of you may be wanting to start something new. Maybe some of you are ready for a new adventure with the Fool here. Some of you are taking a step moving forward. Yeah. Four of Wands. Okay. Libras could be looking for some kind of relationship. They could be looking for family, foundation. If it's not specific to a relationship, they could be working on like career matters, work, money, even. Seven of Pentacles here in the reverse. This isn't necessarily a finances reading for sure. It's definitely spiritual, energetic is what I keep seeing and pulling up. If you're not looking for the dog, the family, etc., the relationship, you could just be looking for some kind of foundation, again, stability, okay, calm, and working your way to get to that point spiritually speaking. Seven of Pentacles here in the reverse. Maybe you've been spending a lot of time just kind of waiting for it, being patient with it. And you've got Judgment here as well. So you can expect to come out of this with some level of understanding. Could be a time to evaluate what you're doing and how you're doing, the seeds that you planted and the actions that you've been taking to cultivate, okay, those seeds, to watch them grow. But I'm also seeing with the Hierophant here in the reverse, you know, some major arcana, you know, 5 major arcana cards already. So yeah, this is definitely, like I said, for all of the signs tonight. All of the signs are getting a lot of major arcana cards. All of the signs are going through some major life lessons at the moment, okay? But with Libras, what I'm seeing so far, I think it's maybe the one sign so far that I'm seeing is generally in a good place, okay? And doesn't have anything crazy coming up or aren't dealing with too much at the moment. But yeah, some of you all may be wanting to start new paths or just start something new. Maybe you're looking into family, relationships, foundation. Maybe it's been a long time coming, and you could just be in a space where you're evaluating all these things for yourself carefully. Okay. Not a bad spread. Nothing too exciting for Libras. Not this week. I'm only reading for the week. So again, these are general readings, short term, very short term readings. All right, so Scorpio is next. And then we'll wrap up with Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So let's take a look at the general energies that surround Scorpios tonight. Whoa, okay. Queen of Wands, Star in reverse, Temperance in reverse, Page of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and Six of Wands. Okay. Overall, it's a balanced and positive reading for Scorpios. And we are in Scorpio season, so that could probably explain this as well. Okay. With the Queen of Wands, it could be in a good place overall. Some of, a lot of you are going to be celebrating birthdays, obviously. That's something that kind of came up for me. Some of you all might not necessarily have someone to celebrate with, and that's fair, that's valid. Some of you might be spending time with self. You might be dealing with your emotions, sorting your emotions. You might be making plans for the future as well, releasing any fears. Could be around money specifically, okay? Some of you may be taking on either new jobs or learning new skills, okay, for work. Knight of Wands here in the reverse. I do feel that that's a confirmation that some of you might be needing to learn some new skills or new job related, okay, skill sets. Got Justice, Four of Wands. Things may be coming into balance for some of you. And the Page of Wands, yeah, a lot of kind of newer energy. So starting new projects, maybe starting new work, okay. And with the Four of Wands and the Six of Wands here, I get the sense with as many wands as I'm seeing here in this reading, a lot of you could be seeking solutions, okay, through the realm of hands-on workings, okay? Not necessarily money. There's no pentacles here. Well, with the exception of the Four of Pentacles here in the reverse, but I consider that as sort of, underdeveloped energy or either like a release, okay? Releasing concerns potentially around money. And then the Page of Pentacles is just not a very strong, there's not a strong presence of pentacles in this reading at all at the moment. So a lot of wands energy, which could speak to fire and creativity and passion, okay? It seems to me that you might be seeking solutions through that realm, okay? Or alternatively, there's just a lot to celebrate and a lot to be, thankful for, and just overall kind of like a celebratory energy, especially with that Four of Wands and the Six of Wands and the Page of Wands. These three together just really speak to, this is a good time. This is a good space to be in. And it makes perfect sense if several Scorpios are celebrating birthdays and things like that because it's Scorpio season. Overall, I'm not seeing anything major to share regarding Scorpios. Nothing major, no major like upheavals and things like that. Not for this week anyway. This is just a weekly reading. General weekly reading. Hey, Mina, thanks for joining. Sure, you can have a couple cards. You're new? Awesome, great. Please make sure to like the page, share the live, and drop your question in the comments. Tonight's kind of slow, probably because it's Halloween and people are out trick-or-treating with their kids and things like that, or just, partying or whatever. Or it's just a Tuesday. So I was doing general Zodiac readings, which I never do. I always end up, when I go live, I always answer individual questions. So happy to answer your questions. If you have them, go ahead and drop them in the comments. So I've already read all signs, Aries, Taurus, well, most signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. I've only got 3 left, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. You want to know if you will meet a new connection next month, okay? So November, let's take a look. We'll pull a card per week, so to speak, and take a look. All right, 7 of Swords in reverse, 5 of Cups. You've got the Tower and you've got the 9 of Wands. I will say, based on these 4 cards, it is likely that you will not meet a new connection next month. And if you do, that it won't necessarily work out in the way that you'd like it to. With the 7 of Swords in the reverse, you may have suffered a betrayal recently, or you may feel like you've been betrayed. Maybe you feel like dating is a scam at the moment. It doesn't seem to be the most supportive energy. Alternatively, the 7 of Swords could also speak to how you're dating, like the strategy, if you will, behind the dating, because it's a swords card, it's a mental energy card. It could be that you're giving a lot of thought to it. It could be that you're spending a lot of time out at night, or maybe going out to different places to find those connections, for example. So just like think of a little bit of more like strategy side of things. I'm pulling the King of Wands here also in the reverse to clarify. It could be that, again, you're giving a lot of thought to the kind of individual that you want into in your life. This kind of energy is an older, more mature energy. It could be an old soul kind of energy as opposed to a physical age. Okay, but it seems like you're looking for somebody that's kind of got it together, because kings, they're kings. They have it together. The King of Wands specifically is like a charming, person, but is fiery, and creative a lot of times, and somebody that has like a lot of spiritual quality, and is someone that is usually good, like inspiring others. So this is a kind of person that when they take charge, when they take command, they don't do it in a forceful way, so to speak. They inspire others into it. So it's a nice kingly energy, the one, the King of Wands energy. So that could be the kind of person that you're looking for. Or you might feel that you're more compatible with like fire signs, for example. You could have fire signs in your own chart. But going into the rest of these cards with the 5 of Cups, the Tower, and the 9 of Wands, these are, and the Ace of Pentacles here also in the reverse. I pulled a clarification card. I'd say that while there's a potential there, of course, because it's in the reverse, it's an underdeveloped energy. And we're talking about this suit of Pentacles. Okay, so this is bringing into the 3D, okay, our manifestations and our desires. It's in the reverse, so it's an underdeveloped energy. Again, I think that just confirms that if you do meet someone next month, it might not work out. But let me talk about these 3 here so you get the full reading, the full message. The 5 of Cups speaks to making sure that you're not focusing on what's not working or what hasn't worked for you in the past, and that you generally maintain some positivity and look towards the things that are working. The 5 of Cups specifically is like a returning to home kind of card. It could be returning to yourself. It could be returning to, like, going back into town. It's a card of connecting, reconnecting, and making decisions to do that. All right. It's kind of like I'm going to walk away from any negativity and from focusing on the spilled milk, so to speak, and I'm actually going to make attempts to re-engage, reconnect. So it could be, again, re-engaging, reconnecting with your desire to date, for example. Maybe getting back online, if that's how you're going about it. Could be actively asking friends in your support network, your family, or letting them know, hey, I'm dating. Like, just being open to the kinds of connections and the kind of support that your support network could actually provide you. Okay. With the Tower here, You may find yourself, and this is going into the third week of November now, you might find yourself going through something that might be uncomfortable. Okay. Let's pull another card around that. Yeah, Page of Cups. Yeah, I have a feeling with the Page of Cups, you might actually meet somebody, but it might not sit right or feel right or kind of connect in the way that you'd like to. Um, with that Page of Cups, it could also be that you may find yourself upset potentially with yourself for having these kinds of feelings, for having this kind of a thing show up. So Page of Cups is like, this is very charming. It's a very, you know, pie in the sky and kind of, the pigs are, flying kind of energy. It's just, it's charming, it's creative, it's very sweet. Okay. It's kind of like being open to the surprises that life can bring you. And so if you find yourself in this kind of more creative, imaginative state, so if this doesn't represent a person per se, and it's just an aspect of your personality, if and when that comes up for you towards the third week of November, you might actually feel like some upset around that. You might be like, oh, why am I even allowing myself to dream, so to speak, It could also be again a person, but because it's a page, it's not necessarily going to line up with that more kingly kind of energy that you may be wanting in a partner. Okay. And by the way, when I speak with genders, it's just I default to like the imagery and the cards. Tarot has no gender, so it doesn't matter, what you may. When I say kingly, I don't necessarily mean male. Okay. Um, but kingly, you know, when you're talking about court cards, you've got pages, knights, queens, kings. Kings are the more developed energy out of those four. Okay, so there's like four levels, if you will. So while you may be desiring a more developed person, a more whole person, a more mature person, if this Page of Cups here actually represents somebody coming into your life, they may not necessarily be at that level for you. Okay, I hope that helps clarify. And you've got the Nine of Wands, so kind of rounding out the month of November, you might find yourself wanting to throw in a towel. It's kind of like I'm really tired. It's like I'm overburdened, maybe burnt out, burnout kind of energy. So I'd say, just giving the cards here to answer your question, you're likely not to meet a new connection next month, but if you did, and this is represented by that Page of Cups, it might be the type of connection that doesn't necessarily go anywhere and you wouldn't necessarily find fulfilling for yourself. Okay. So I hope that was helpful, Nina. Might not be, what you want to hear, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. Okay. So make sure to check in again at some point in the near future, like the page, share the live, and thank you for tuning in. You're so welcome, Mina. Thank you. Awesome. So for those that are just joining, I was doing general readings for the collective based on zodiac sign, and I've gotten through everyone pretty much with the exception of Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So I'd like to go ahead and read those three signs, but if you have questions, pop them in. I've kind of been like all over the place. It's a slower night, so I thought, let me do these general zodiac readings and give people opportunity to, join as they, see the live come up on their phones and whatnot. So for those watching, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. If not, I'm going to go ahead and start reading. Did I say Capricorn? Can't remember who's next. Yeah, Capricorn. I'm going to go ahead and start reading Capricorn next. General reading for Capricorn. Okay. All right, Three of Pentacles in the reverse, Hierophant, Five of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, one more, Knight of Swords. Okay, a lot of the same cards are actually coming up for all signs. I've been saying that all night. So I think that a collective as a whole is probably going through a similar collective experience. Hey, Zyra, I go by the name that shows up in the live. You're just in time for the Capricorn reading. I know that you actually shared you wanted a general reading, um, for everything, if I recall correctly. But of course, if you have any specific questions, just drop them in the comments. Please share the live. It's the only thing that I ask for. We need to have an energetic exchange here. Please share the live, and if you have any questions, kisses to you too. Kisses, kisses. So I'll go ahead and start this general reading for Capricorn. So Three of Pentacles here in the reverse. And with the King of Wands, yeah, this is definitely work related for sure, with that King of Wands kind of clarifying that. There could be a focus on partnerships, and not just partnerships, more like team dynamics, group dynamics, that kind of a thing. I see that there's like a potential for contracts involved, or like a commitment, I'd say, around like a group project, maybe. Could be kind of like in that general realm, could be a commitment to coworkers and vice versa. Okay. But there could be some challenges there. It looks like, yeah, King of Cups in the reverse. Looks like people might be short on empathy a little bit. All right. At work, maybe like tensions are high. Maybe there's some like deadlines and things that the team could be working to meet. The Five of Pentacles, there might be some fears and challenges and things like that around the work that's being completed. So might be a little bit of tension there, might not be. King of Pentacles, yeah, an underdeveloped energy around getting things done on time. So it could just mean that more focus is going to be required to meet these deadlines. Queen of Swords, analysis, rational thinking. I know that you're in that space anyway, but I'm reading, Capricorns very generally now. And impulsivity, making sure that they're spending the time doing what needs to be done in terms of any analysis, in terms of making fair decisions that make sense for their job, the work that they're actually doing, and not working on impulsivity or acting now and thinking later kind of stuff. Yeah, Five of Cups here in the reverse. Three of Swords. Yeah, I think it's just like potential tensions and negative releases of emotion, maybe yelling things, inappropriate things happening in work from that lens. Okay, I'm not saying, Three of Swords people think is always like third parties and that kind of thing. It can be read differently. Three of Swords, there's a lot of buildup, usually energetic buildup in the heart or in the heart chakra, that when it's time for it to blow, so to speak, and to come out, can come out harshly, negatively, and it could also be used in a more positive way and as a catalyst to get shit done. So it's like there's a potential, with Three of Swords. Of course, could also be, too many people trying to give direction and run things, and not enough actual leadership and things like that as it relates to work and career. And again, this is a reading for Capricorn in general, not specific to you, Lauren, but I know you're probably listening into that and thinking, oh, that may apply or may not. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you have a specific question, though, Lauren, or I'm sorry, Zyra, drop it in the comments. I remember you said you wanted a love reading and you wanted a work reading or a career reading. That's what I can't remember. So if you're still online. Oh, and by the way, I think, you're checking in from YouTube tonight. Okay, good. Great. All right, so let's go ahead and love reading. Seven of Cups in reverse, lovers. Okay. Two of Cups in reverse. Three of Pentacles in reverse. I'll pull one more, 10 of Cups. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of love in this reading. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I have a feeling, and we all have multiple soulmates, and if you haven't, you're saying that was good, lots of work deadlines coming up, and you need to get a lot done. Yeah. Yeah, just be careful with tension things, and maybe it could be you. Don't like bottle it in, find appropriate and supportive outlets for. I know you do a lot of things, but I mean, like, it's one thing to like go out and have fun. I'm talking about supportive outlets in the work space work with coworkers. And Capricorns are workhorses in general. In fact, my rising, in case you didn't know, I think you do though, is a Capricorn. Okay. And then I've got areas in my house of like action. So it's, a lot of do, go, go, go. Capricorns are workhorses. So we just have to make sure that that's always in balance as much as possible. All right. So love reading for you specifically. There's a lot of love here. This is good. It's nice. It's a very comforting, I think, kind of connection and relationship. I do believe that everyone has multiple soulmates in this lifetime. And I do think that this individual is one of yours, honestly. Okay. I think that you all could be looking for, and I say solution lightly, all right? Like when you read tarot, I look at the different suits and it usually colors the rest of the reading. Yeah, I have a Capricorn rising, so that's how I like to present myself to the world, if that makes sense. And that's usually how the world views us, is not by our sun sign, but rather by our rising. And that's Capricorn for me. All right. So I was saying that, specific to the love reading that you asked for, I just feel like there's like a comfort there with the Seven of Cups. Sometimes speaking to illusions and things like that, but with it being reversed, like that's not a concern at all. Like it just feels very solid. You're saying you're a scope. Oh, you're Scorpio rising and a Scorpio moon. Okay. So let me tell you really quickly, because I was talking about astrology earlier. I love astrology. I'm getting more and more into it. And in my group, I was talking about how that last lunar eclipse 2 years ago, November of 2021, kind of set off a period of 2 years for individuals with Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus in their big three. Okay, so you've got the two Scorpios in two of your big three. That's provided a lot of challenges over the last 2 years in different, areas of our life, and how now with this last partial lunar eclipse in Taurus that took place on October 28th, and now we're stepping out of that energy, we've got the opportunity, if you will, to really level up now. This is the glow up period for individuals with any of those four signs in their big three. Okay, now that the effects of that last, lunar moon that took place, I'm talking about a specific kind of moon transit that took place 2 years ago, has now kind of ended with this partial lunar eclipse that took place, October 28th. So that's the good news. And currently there's a lot of supportive energy around completing projects and wrapping up loose ends and communicating. Okay, because we've got a Gemini moon out there right now. We also have Venus trine Uranus. Okay, so this is a period of time in which we need to be bolder with our communication and really allow kind of like this unfolding, if you will, around the throat chakra. So I'm just sharing all of that because this is the time to level up and take advantage. Take advantage. So anyways, back to your love reading. The Seven of Cups in the reverse, like I said, and with the Lovers and the Two of Cups also in reverse, I just get the feeling that this is a soulmate connection and it's very rooted at this point. All right. And with the Three of Pentacles here in the reverse, things might feel like they're easier, like more effortless. Okay. 10 of Cups, someone here is thinking long term. Could be you, could be him, could be both of y'all, thinking about the family, thinking about, just long term. 10 of Cups, like, okay, this is my person. This is my person for the rest of my life. And this is what's being evaluated right now with judgment. Okay. This is also like a call a lot of times. It's literally if you know your Bible, I will say I'm not religious, but I have a very academic interest in the religious texts, okay? So I tend to bring that up in my readings because there's a lot of religious symbolism and imagery in the tarot, okay? And judgment, there's like going back to the religious text, there's like a calling that's supposed to take place that's going to, make the dead rise, so to speak. And that's the imagery of the judgment card. So that really speaks to making sure that you're listening to that spiritual call, that you are hearing your guides, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, that you are rising to the occasion, literally. Okay. And that you are um taking the actions that need to be taken, if anything. All right. So there's there's a period of evaluation. If you aren't like in a very evaluative state, then you should be, for sure. Make sure that you're not missing your call. All right. Make sure that you're listening in to your spirit guides, your ancestors, and that you're really connected and that you're listening to that messaging. Okay. um yeah, there's so much love here, girl. This is like this is pretty settled. This is your person. If that's what you're wondering, this is your person. I hope you're still online. I hope you're hearing me. Because you've got the 6 of Cups here. This, again, it's another soulmate card. It's another it can mean different things, but in the context of this reading, I mean, you've got like the kids, the dogs, this is a happier kind of card. And with the number 6, this is the number of harmony. Okay. It's a very harmonious kind of energy. And then you've got that 3 of Cups. So, 3, 6, the only thing we're needing is 9. I'm not necessarily seeing that, but again, just a very supportive energy. Well, I am seeing the 9. I'm sorry. 6 plus 3, 9. There we go. But the 3 of Cups, is the energy of growth. It's a very celebratory kind of energy. Okay. It's also the growth of partnerships. So from 2 to 3. So I don't know if that necessarily means babies. Okay. But there's that essence of growth within the partnership. All right. So moving from the couple duo, energy of 2 into the energy of 3. This is beautiful. Oh, I'm glad you're listening. Good. So StreamYard acts like stupid. It's the software that I use to go live on multiple platforms, and I do it on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And I'm working to integrate Instagram into it. But it's, because I'm online through or live rather through StreamYard, I'm not looking at what's happening on my YouTube page or my Facebook page. And so right now I'm seeing that there aren't any viewers for whatever reason, but whatever. So this is what I'm seeing for your love. I mean, shit, I think this draw pulled pretty much almost every single card in the tarot available around love. With the exception of like Ace of Cups and 10 of Pentacles, which isn't really so much love, but like long game, end game, retirement, you know, that kind of thing, inheritance, heritage, these kinds of, meanings. But I mean, I think this is a very beautiful love spread and love reading. It's just a very settled, rooted kind of an energy overall. But yeah, that Judgment card, give that some thought, take what resonates, leave the rest. But there isn't anything here that screams take action or do something or don't do something. Okay. But it is letting you know this is in a good space. This is a good energy. Make sure you don't miss your calling. Don't be afraid to move forward or to literally rise to any occasion that may come up around this connection, and I'm not seeing anything negative here. It's all very, very nice, very solid. It's good. This connection is good. I told you I liked him for you. Told you that from the beginning. All right, so that's work, that's love. I don't know if you asked me for anything else. I can't remember. Like you said something and it was just loud that night. And I remember you saying you wanted like 3 things or something. You wanted this, that, and the third, and I don't remember exactly what you said. I just remember saying like hearing love. So anyways, if you have any other questions, just put them in the comments, Zyra. And thank you for tuning in. Please do share the live. I want to continue to grow and get more people read. Crow's Nest. Yes, you may ask a question. Drop it in the comment. Please do share the live. Thank you again for having subscribed. And I apologize. Your name, I think, was Jennifer or Jessica. I can't recall. Go ahead and drop your question. I've been doing general readings all night because it's been kind of slow. You know, it's probably because of the holiday and people are out trick-or-treating and having fun and that kind of thing. While you're getting your question together, I just recapping for everybody. I've read all of the zodiac signs with the exception of Aquarius and Pisces. So Jessica, you're a Leo. Okay, Lauren, I'm seeing your message now. Yes, work, love, and life in general. Awesome. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thanks for joining the live. Yeah, it's been a busy, and not just a busy day, Jessica. It's been just like crazy for like everybody. You're saying you're Aquarius rising and Pisces moon and Leo sun. So let me go ahead and share this with you because this applies. So 2 years ago, we had a lunar transit. We had an eclipse. This was in November of 2021 that primarily affected individuals with Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus in their big 3. And I'm seeing that you're a Leo sun and you're an Aquarius rising. So you have 2 out of the, out of the 3. And so the last 2 years in general have been pretty, challenging, I'd say, for those individuals that have any of those 4 signs in their big 3. And we just had this partial lunar eclipse in Taurus that took place on October 28th. And so this is now acting as a, it's lifted, okay, this lunar transit energy from the last 2 years kind of off our shoulders. And my big 3, by the way, are Taurus sun, Capricorn rising, and my moon is in Leo. So I too have been affected. I'm so looking forward to what's coming. This is now going to be our glow up. This is going to be a period of a lot of positive change for these individuals who've been affected. You're saying, oh, thank God. Yeah. This is pretty exciting stuff. And Kristen, thanks for joining. You can absolutely ask a question. It's been a slower night, so I've just been doing general zodiac readings. Please do subscribe and share the live. It's all I'm asking. And drop your question in the comments. I have been doing general zodiac readings, like I just said, and I've read everyone already with the exception of Aquarius and Pisces, which I will do at some point tonight before I close. Okay, so Jessica, you have asked who's coming in for you in love in the near future. So let's take a look at what's going to come in for the next, 4 weeks for you. So the month of November, and, we can take it through January. It's fine. Ace of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Swords, Emperor in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles also in the reverse. So are you waiting for a communication? You could be waiting for a communication. You could be waiting for like this breakthrough. Maybe you're spending a lot of time in your head. Queen of Pentacles here. Yeah, I feel like you're single, Queen of Pentacles, but you're in a good place. Okay. Seems to be okay financially. You've got Temperance here in the reverse. So make sure to remain patient during this process because I see some impulsivity here with the Knight of Swords. Maybe there's a tendency to want to rush into things or some kind of like act now, think later kind of an energy. You're saying, yep, yeah. So just take your time, okay? Because the Emperor here is also in the reverse. You may not, Emperor is kind of a cool card, okay, when it's in the upright. But when it's in the reverse, it's even stronger because it's even more rigid. Okay. It's kind of like it's like this, and you can't always have that kind of approach in life. Okay. You've got the Devil here. So Careful with any tendencies towards codependencies and things like that, and make sure that you're also not um, buying really putting energy into like self-limiting beliefs, negative thoughts. I'll say addictions, but I don't mean necessarily that kind of addiction. There's other types of addictions to negative thinking, just things that don't serve us. Okay. Allowing yourself to be attached or overly attached to things that may not serve you. Just be careful with that in general. Okay. You've got the lovers here in the reverse. Um, I'd say that overall, just based on what I'm seeing, no, there may not be anyone coming in for you in the near future because the Lovers card is in reverse. So it's an underdeveloped energy. All right. And you also have the Knight of Pentacles here, also in the reverse. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is already the slowest moving knight in the deck or in the, tarot. So just take your time. All right. With the Devil here, there could be things that you may need to work on and release. And I get the sense that here it's more like the tendency to think negatively, self-limiting beliefs. Maybe it's self-worth kind of a stuff. You need to build yourself up. Maybe it's your approach to dating and to love in general. It might be too rigid. Maybe you need to kind of open up your heart a little bit around that. For a moment, I heard like solar plexus. Solar plexus is the joy of like living. It's kind of like inner child kind of stuff. Maybe there's something that needs to be worked in that area. Okay. You're saying, yep. Okay. 10 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, this is an underdeveloped energy. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It means that it may not happen right away. And by right away, because when I started pulling these cards, I had November and December in mind. It could be that you finish off the year single, but that doesn't mean that this isn't going to. The fact that it's even showing up in the deck and the reading is saying it is coming. It's just not coming right away because it's in the reverse. So it's an underdeveloped energy, but it will come. It will come. Yeah, Queen of Swords. So again, she can be cool, standoffish almost, kind of like just she's fair. It's not a bad card, but it can be like an ice queenish kind of, So you may find yourself single for the rest of the year. We're coming into winter here in my part of the world anyway, might be the same for you. And with this Queen of Swords, just take your time, give it some thought, be fair with yourself. Be rational, all right? Maybe put together a strategy, but I know that it's not always good to talk about, strategies. I don't even really like that word myself as it relates to one's love life specifically, but I mean, give some thought as to some of the inspired actions that you can take to bring more love into your experience, okay? Could be dating, could be working with a dating coach, could be a number of different things, okay? I hope that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kristen, you are next, and your question is, how is Hunter feeling about you during the breakup? Does he get where you're coming from, is what I'm reading that as. Let me go ahead and ask. Judith, yes, this is free. And I ask that you like the page and you share the live. I see that you're tuning in from Facebook. Please share the live, and I'll go ahead and read you next after Kristen. And for licensed professional teacher, is it positive or negative results? So I'm reading that as a job opportunity, maybe. So is this a career reading, Judith? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. All right, Kristen, how is Hunter feeling about you? Let's see. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So you've got Emperor and the Devil too, Kristen. A lot of these same cards are kind of coming up. I think the collective as a whole is just going through very similar experiences. It makes, absolute sense. That's usually how it works, how it goes. So I always like to look at your energy, partner's energy, and the energy of the connection itself. Okay. And yeah, I could definitely see how you guys are broken up because I'll just jump over into, I'll skip you for a moment because I'm sure you know how you feel, but I like to read the individual asking the question because sometimes it'll bring additional insights to them as well. But I'll just, my attention keeps going over here. Like, I'm like, I don't know, I feel a sense of urgency around reading him, whether it's coming from you or whether it's coming from him. I'm tapping into something. I mean, I'm gonna just pull this card up so you can see that. Look at that imagery. That's how he feels. This dude is heartbroken. He's surely working on releasing it, for sure. I think, might be he may want to focus in on work if he has a job, because I'm not entirely sure that that's what this means. He could be maybe a student or something, or studying something and learning like a new skill set or whatever, but like he's definitely trying to drown it out, so to speak, by involving himself in other things related to the suit of pentacles, whether that's work or whether that's him trying to start anew, so to speak, like create something different within his experience, within his manifestation. um it's moving slowly for him because he's got the Knight of Pentacles here. I think he wants to move a little faster, okay, through the emotional piece. That's what I'm sensing. Let me pull another card here. Yeah, more pentacles. He's seeking solutions through like his 3D experience. All right. He's trying to get out of the emotional and the mental, and maybe is working through some of the things that may have gotten y'all into that breakup to begin with, like a give and take dynamic and balancing that, boundaries, things like that, time commitments, just making sure that things were even and balanced within the give and take dynamic in that connection. Yes, Kristen, this is you. The question was, how's he feeling? I'm talking through how he's feeling. And you want to know if he gets where you're coming from. I think that he's doing the work to try to figure it out. But I don't think that it's so much, there's not as much like, what I'm not seeing are a bunch of like swords cards that would tell me that he's really thinking through things. Instead, what I'm seeing is that, he's in a heartbroken space. Like there's a lot of emotion and stuff going on, and that he's trying to maybe not do the work, so to speak, like trying to forget that and focus on other things. So it could be work related. He could be drowning himself in his work. He could be trying to study or learn something new. He could also be giving some thought specifically to how things worked with that give and take dynamic. As I just said, like, were things balanced in that area? So that's kind of where his head is, and that's kind of what he's feeling. And then on your end, you might be surrounding yourself with friends at the moment or having conversations with friends and family, but I think you two might be needing to you have the major arcana cards, not him. I think there's more learning for you in this relationship than there is for him, because these are all minor arcana cards. These are temporary situations, temporary emotions, if you will, whereas you have the heavier major life lessons related to this relationship. And not just two, I'm sorry, you have three major arcana, okay? The Emperor, the Devil, and Death or Rebirth. So you might be, seems like going through quite a bit as well. But you're going to come out of it with deeper meaning and more lessons learned. On your end, you might have to be careful with your approach on things, potential codependencies, potential negativities, potential self-worth issues, potential, anything that you might be projecting, some rigidity, a lot of rigidness, if you will, around how you do things, kind of like seeing the world through the lens of just like your own experience, and maybe not necessarily taking in others' opinions or experiences, and just kind of like doing things your way or the highway. You got to be careful around that. Maybe you're pretty firm around your boundaries too, okay, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And are you surrounding yourself with friends and family, or were you looking towards some kind of stability or foundation or more traditional way of doing things with this person over here? Maybe you guys were in a more committed kind of relationship as well. I could read the Four of Wands like that. And then as for the connection itself with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, and the Ace of Wands, there's still love there. It feels like somebody's here waiting for a communication or like a breakthrough moment or like breaking the ice kind of a thing almost maybe. And with the Page of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, Two of Pentacles, somebody could be, again, weighing pros and cons or, but again, this is more of the energies. Yeah, you have a separate energy. He has a separate energy. This is the energy of the connection. So the connection itself could be in this process of thinking things through. Again, Two of Pentacles, pros and cons of being together, of keeping this unit kind of energy. Page of Cups here. I feel again that there's still some love here with the Page of Cups, but it took a hit. Whatever happened, it seems like this connection took a hit. It's like a smaller kind of an energy here. There could be a lot of spirituality, a lot of like, again, learning. But I think there's still love here, and I think there's some passion here. If you guys were to work through this and get back together, it would take some work, but I think that there's a potential for like a sort of new beginning, if you will, with this Ace of Wands. Let me pull another card. Yeah, Six of Swords in reverse, getting out of more tumultuous waters and moving over into calmer waters. I think that if you guys were to get back together, if that's what, you guys are working towards, then by doing the work here. All right. Again, pros and cons. So just like going back to that Six of Pentacles, making sure that give and take dynamic is equal in a relationship, that you guys feel like there's some reciprocity in this connection. I think there's a potential to make it work, if that's what you guys want to do. I hope that was helpful, Kristen. It's going to require some work if you guys want to get back together. Judith, so you had a question around license, professional teacher license. Is it a positive or a negative result? And Pretty, thanks for joining. I see you're joining from Facebook. Please like the page, like White Table Tarot, and share the live, please. And I will go ahead and read you after Judith. So you have to be patient, Judith. I see that with the Magician here, you have a strong chance of getting this for sure. And with the Ace of Cups, there's a lot of potential. I think that you might find that this is very fulfilling for you, or it will be fulfilling for you, and then you have a lot of love to give through this kind of work. You have to be patient, okay? I see the Knight of Wands. I do see that you're in a more celebratory kind of energy. So even if you were to get this position exactly, there's something else that could be in the works for you. I say if you don't get the position, because you do have one reversal, and it was the first card, and sometimes those reversals can be read as like no's, but it's not like a firm no. It could be like a no, but whether there's another opportunity or something, or something else is going to come your way. The universe has something better for you. But I do think that there's a strong potential that the answer is yes, because you've got all these other ones in the upright, and they are pretty strong cards. Okay. So I did pull that Three of Swords here. Three of Swords, it looks like a sad card a lot of times, but it also, there's a lot of potential behind this card. So even going through any kind of negativity, if we kind of keep that close hold and in our heart, when it finally comes out and is released, there's a lot of energy and potential behind that card. It's like a very cathartic, kind of catalyst kind of energy to move us forward. And Ace of Pentacles, I went ahead and I pulled another one just to clarify that. So there's definitely a potential here. There isn't like something that's saying a firm yes or no. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm not seeing that necessarily. But what I'm seeing is that if you don't get that position, something else may be in the works that would bring you that fulfillment here. because I do see with the magician that this some kind of manifestation is going to come forward. Okay, so maybe it's not a teaching license. Maybe it's something else though within the same field. Okay, and that Ace of Pentacles, again, you have two cards, two aces that speak to like a new beginning. So something is definitely coming. Something's on its way to you. And I hope that that was helpful. You wanted to know if you can add for your love life and also to your family success. So let's pull some additional cards around love life and also to the family success. Hey, Satina, thanks for tuning in. Satina, I read everybody. If I have time, I read everybody. The last time I did a live, I was on here for 3 hours. I'm already at 2 hours and 6 minutes. So I do ask that you like the page and that you share the live though, okay? All right, 10 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Cups, and Temperance. So yeah, I keep getting the same messages here. So with Temperance, either be patient or you could also be surrounded by your, what I call the spiritual support network, okay? Guides, angels, things like that. 10 of Wands here. There's some release of maybe feeling burdened, okay? Or you could be giving a lot and maybe not feeling like you're getting much in return. Okay, but I see that there's some release in that. You may find yourself in a period of time in which you need to make some decisions. Just take your time with that. Be patient. Make sure that you're carefully evaluating your various decisions before you choose and move forward, because the 7 of Cups can speak to potential illusions. So just make sure you have all the data and information you need before you make decisions and move forward. But that 10 of Swords, again, that in the reverse with the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords, both in the reverse, I'd say this is a very good card of releasing. Okay, releasing fears, releasing things that are keeping you up at night, releasing things that are not serving you. To answer your question with the 2 of Swords, you may not have an idea about how that's going to happen, and you don't have to concern yourself with that. Okay? Like from a manifestation perspective, we need to connect with our intuition. We need to connect with our emotions and how we feel about things so that we can bring into our experience those things that we want. In other words, practice gratitude, think, positively, focus on what is working or what you do want versus the opposite so that you can bring more of that. Because like attracts like, you have to focus on the things that you want. If you want the family success, if you want, more love in your life, then those are the things that you need to focus on. With that 7 of Cups, because Cups does speak to spirituality and to love, if you are dating, just be careful because, it's a mixed bag out there. Dating's hard. That too can also mean that. But yeah, I do see progression in both of these 10s in the reverse. Okay, so that's going to be kind of like a closing out of anything that you may be experiencing at the moment, and tarot resets. So this means that there's going to be a beginning of a new cycle, if you will, for you. Okay, with that 2 of Swords, the guidance is to make sure to connect with your intuition. All right, the 2 of Swords it looks like a dry card, barren land. I don't know if you can see that very well through the live, but there are in fact pockets of water in this land. There's not a lot of water. Again, water speaks to spirituality and intuition and emotion, and this lady is blindfolded here. So just make sure, that you are connecting to your intuition so that you can get the answers and you can get the guidance that you're seeking that will allow you to remove that blindfold and to see what's going on and what the decisions are that you need to make. Okay. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for the cards for LPT. Licensed something teacher, I imagine. I'm not sure what LPT, licensed professional teacher, I suppose. You're so welcome, though, either way. Thanks for checking in. Best of luck to you. Okay, Preeti, you're next. So you want to know what the intentions are of this individual, Zilwan? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And does he have feelings for you? Okay. Let's pull cards around your energy, and let's also pull cards around his energy. I think you've been patient. I think you've been waiting. It looks like death or rebirth. So, let's talk about his energy first. So I'm seeing 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups in reverse, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay. He's not sure what he wants. And the Knight of Wands, I'm sorry, Knight of Wands also in the reverse. This is, for me, it's coming across as like a confused energy because it's like he wants different things at different times. I think that what's driving all of this, though, is he's burned out. I think he's tired. I don't know if he's just going through a difficult time or has gone through like difficult experiences, but this kind of energy is the kind of energy where you just want to give up, where you feel so overburdened because you've worked so hard for so long. It's kind of like a burnout kind of energy. And if that is his general feeling and thinking, if you will, that's kind of like the space he finds himself in, then he could be wanting to do all these other different things. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He's wanting to internalize what these different cards mean, but they do mean just very different things. Like with the 10 of Pentacles, he might be considering like the longer term, he's thinking retirement. He's thinking about his future. That's what I mean by longer term, and maybe everything that he needs to do to get there. So yes, there's like usually a family involved. There's like leaving behind a legacy. He might be thinking those things. And he's got the 3 of Cups here also in the reverse. So he could be thinking about like at some point he wants a family. And he's trying to make decisions with the 7 of Cups to maybe, make this happen for himself. But he also has this Knight of Wands energy. Knight of Wands is more of like a single, right? So he could be having fun. He could be wanting to have more fun. He could be wanting to enjoy himself. Okay. But then he also has these desires around growth and specifically like a family unit kind of growth. Okay. And he's at the heart of the matter, I feel like he's trying to decide what it is he wants to do. Does he remain single, or does he move in a direction of kind of like creating this family? That's his headspace. That's where he's at. And let me read these comments that are coming in. Pretty, you've asked, yes, and will he meet up with me? Will he meet up with me in the future? And is he attractive, or is he attracted to you? So, and Judith, I'm reading your comment now. You're thanking me for the cards. It was very helpful for decision making. Awesome. I'm glad that it helped you and brought you additional insights. You're very welcome. Thank you, Satina, for sharing. I appreciate that. Drop your question in the comments. And so Pretty, you want to know, will he meet up with you in the future? Is he attracted to you? Let's pull some cards that speak to the energy of the connection itself. 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Temperance in the reverse, 10 of Swords. These are not the best cards. Okay, what this is telling me is that this connection may not be the most successful connection. Okay, I think there's going to be a lot of focus on work. I think that whether you're the one focusing on work or he's the one focusing on work, there's very much a single kind of energy in this connection with that Queen of Pentacles. All right, so it's a good connection, or I'm sorry, a good energy. Financially speaking, it's a very comfortable, okay, financial security kind of an energy, but it can be a single kind of energy. I'm not seeing like a queen king pairing in this section here of the reading. I'm seeing that Temperance is in reverse, so something is out of balance with the 8 of Pentacles here. I think that this connection would be more focused on work and things like that. There isn't a single card here that speaks to the emotional aspect of this connection. There's no, essentially there's no love here. There's no cups. Cups speak to love. There's like, different cards that I would typically look for that would be very, that would be very clear that yes, there's a connection here. There's a partnership here. And I'm not seeing that. Instead, I'm seeing the 10 of Swords, like a lot of mental energy. Ten of Swords is the kind of energy that will keep somebody up at night. It's like a lot of thinking. It's like mental anguish almost. It's just not, these are not the best cards, generally speaking, for yeah. And with the Sun in reverse as well, I'm reading that as just not a very successful, partnership is what I'm getting here. I think that, well, not that I think, I know that this right here is just a snapshot in time. It doesn't mean that it cannot change. This is what the energy would be if there was a partnership taking place right now. Like I said, I think a lot of it is driven by where he's at. I think he first needs to make some decisions around what it is that he needs to do, what he wants to do, because this space that he's in cannot be brought into a partnership because this is not conducive. Okay. So right now, I don't think he's in a place where he's ready to make that decision. It doesn't look like that. So you're saying, what about in the future? Well, right now, this is what it is. Like here, I think that with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse and with Death and Rebirth also in reverse, maybe you're ready for a relationship or a connection. And with the Seven of Pentacles, maybe you've been patient, okay? But you might need to do more work on yourself as well before you're even prepared for it. Now you're saying in the future, let's pull some more cards for you. You want to know if he's attractive to you. And you're saying, will we meet? With the Four of Pentacles, this is a very reserved energy. This is not an expansive energy necessarily. Page of Pentacles, Queen of, no, this is, for me, this is a no. Because with the Queen of Wands in the reverse, it's like, again, no expansion. It's not an expansive energy. Page of Pentacles is very much an energy about learning still. It's out of all the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King, it's the first level, if you will. It's the lowest level of development. So no, I do not think that in the future, this is really going to go anywhere. Is he attracted to you? He may be. He may be. But again, these are not the most supportive cards for that connection. Eight of Swords, victimhood, focused on self, not wanting to see things for what they really are. I'm thinking that this is probably speaking more to you. And the Four of Pentacles, maybe kind of being guarded even a little bit. Yeah, this is not the most conducive energy to the partnership. So I would say, no, this isn't going to go anywhere in the near future. I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry about that. I do hope that you find a connection that you're deserving of and that is fulfilling to you and that makes you feel like you're on top of the world. All right, Satina, you're next. Is Mitchell going to realize how bad he has been hurting you? And are you going to reconcile soon or ever? And is your job still looking safe? Is he hiding his feelings? I don't think he's hiding feelings. I think he's confused. That he needs to know what it is that he wants to do. I think he's in a guarded space even. I don't think he's hiding anything. I think he's just working through his process. Hi, Keisha. Thanks for joining. Hi, how are you? I'm well. Hope you're well as well. Go ahead and like the page and share the live, please. If you have a question, drop it in the comments. So, Satina, is Mitchell going to realize how bad he's been hurting you? And he already knows. And are you guys going to reconcile? No, I don't see it. And let me explain what I'm seeing. So with the Queen of Pentacles here in the reverse, I'm not seeing her counterpart. I'm not seeing the king. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles can be a very single mother, even kind of energy. Okay. And with the Fool here, it looks like you may be moving into a new direction yourself. You could be starting something new, a new phase in your life, a new journey. You could be prepared to move elsewhere. Okay. You got the Three of Cups in the reverse. So this is not in celebratory. It's not an expansive energy. The number, the card itself is in the reverse. So I'd say that no, this isn't the kind of relationship that's going to go from two people to three people, meaning like kids and things like that, or like a fur baby. Okay. It just is not, it's not growing. And I'm also seeing the Devil here, which, and the Sun also in the reverse. This is usually a card that indicates there's no growth, there's no confidence, there's no confidence in this connection growing. There's no success, okay, with this. I'm pretty sure that he does know, just because people typically know, they know what they're doing. Okay. With the Devil, be careful. Any codependencies, any attachments, any addictions, this connection might not serve you, okay, at all. With the Queen of Swords here in the reverse, you may need to tap into more of that single woman, even kind of energy, okay? You may need to do some reflection, some analysis. Okay, this, generally speaking, the Queen of Swords, she's not necessarily a black and white kind of a person, a yes or no kind of a person. Her thinking, her decision making kind of wane a little bit, okay? But you got to be firm. You have to be more firm in your own decision making as it relates to this connection. And then you asked about your job and whether your job is still safe. Yeah, your job is definitely safe. With the Ten of Pentacles, I don't know if you have like a 401k or something like that, but it looks like the kind of job that is going to continue to support you and can definitely help you get to a place of retirement at some point. So yes, I'd say that your job is safe and that it's secure for the long term. Okay. Um, the Ten of Pentacles is a very good card to have, especially as it relates to work. So I'd say that your job is safe. It's fine. So I hope that that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the live, and thank you for liking the page. I'll see you next time. Hey, Khadija. Thanks for tuning in. Please like the page and share the live. Drop your question in the comments. And I'll go ahead and read you. Yes, you can ask a question. Please share the live, though, and like the page. So, Zatina, you're asking if he will contact you soon. I didn't see any kind of definite yeses, like sword cards or anything like that. I think he's thinking about it. I just pulled the, Seven of Cups. He might be thinking about it, but with the Judgment card here, he might ultimately decide not to. Again, I don't, with justice and everything, I keep sensing like this isn't a connection that serves you. I do not think he's going to contact you soon. Khadija, I'm waiting for the question, please. When you have a moment, go ahead and drop it in a comment. When will S get married to SM, and will this marriage last forever? Okay. When will S get married to SM? So it could take some time, okay? What I'm seeing with the Ten of Wands here, Wands can speak to weeks, And if that seems like it's too soon around the corner, the court cards, I'm sorry, the suit cards also speak to seasons, okay? So wands can speak to spring a lot of times, all right? As for whether or not the marriage will last forever, and I feel like with justice here, yeah, there's some official process, court, that kind of thing involved. I would say that it is happening. The marriage is happening. There's a good probability that it's going to happen. Um, I'm not seeing very strong cards necessarily, at least not in the beginning. But I do see that with work, it could work, okay? Because you've got the Nine of Wands and you've got the Hierophant here. So I could see that this could be a longer lasting marriage, but not without its hiccups first. Not without the work, some work being done first. This, with all this sword energy here, this is the kind of connection that, for whatever reason, might be a lot in the head as opposed to in the heart. All right. And there just could be a lot of work that needs to take place within the connection to get to this more settled, happier kind of, energy. Okay. And this commitment with the Hierophant too. We'll pull some additional cards around that because that's an Eight of Swords. It's a Seven of Cups. Are they both healed, meaning like, are they both coming into this connection having already done the healing from any previous partnerships and that kind of thing? Because I'm kind of picking up on maybe some of that. Somebody might still be thinking about either a past connection or past disappointment or something, and whether or not that could potentially affect the marriage with this new partner, potentially. It could be looked at as that. Maybe this person or one of the partners in this connection is still going through some of the processing of just making sure that they're ready for that commitment. But to answer your question, this could be a very happy, fulfilled, long-term marriage. Absolutely. After some of this work is done, after some of this takes place. And with all this sword energy, somebody might be having a lot of thoughts. They're in their head, a lot of mental energy here with these three cards. And some with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, there's some releasing and things that's taking place. So I'm not sure who in the partnership, but it's very possible that they are in the process of, just going through it, just going through that, through thoughts, maybe releasing fears and things like that to be able to make that step in that direction and make that commitment. Yeah, marriage is definitely happening, but it might need a little bit of work prior to getting to that heart space commitment, as opposed to just committing in the head, meaning the decision, meaning rational, and through the actual courts, through the legal system. Okay. I hope that was helpful. Okay, I think I've answered everyone's questions. Okay, someone new just joined and you're joining from YouTube. Thank you. Go ahead and subscribe, please, and share the live. And yes, you may ask your question, drop it in the comments. AU11E1. So Khadija, you're asking if they will get married early next year. It could be because of the wands, could be spring. And spring in my part of the world is, another, 4 to 6 months away. No, more. 1, 2, like 6 months, right? So yeah, springtime. And it looks like It's very possible that it's the springtime, yeah. It's sooner rather than later, okay, with the Knight of Swords here. But be patient, don't rush. The response is don't rush. Don't rush the marriage. Okay, so AU11E1, you want to know what his Gibbs feelings are for you. And is there a spiritual connection? There's definitely a spiritual connection. And there's also a lot of learning. Could be karmic, okay? And with the Three of Wands in the reverse, it may not necessarily move forward in the way that you like, okay? With the Tower also in the reverse, like I said, I think that there's definitely, I almost feel like this is a soul contract, okay? And the feelings could be carnal, almost like root chakra based, okay? They could be very sensual. Um, I don't necessarily think that this is the most, yeah, this is like impulsiveness. Like it could be passionate, you know, with the Three of Wands here. And Eight of Wands also in the reverse. This kind of connection is the kind of connection that's going to help you grow and learn. It could even potentially be karmic. This is not necessarily happily ever after kind of connection or relationship, but it's definitely a soul contract. There's a lot of learning involved and ultimately some kind of transformation, growth. Okay. With the devil here, like I said, it's not necessarily, this isn't like happily ever after. This is like a lot of learning, impulsive, Tower moment, Three of Wands. Because regardless of what I'm saying, it's going to move forward. It looks like you're going to get involved. It's a soul contract, I feel. It's definitely a spiritual connection, just not necessarily the most fulfilling. And I say that carefully because even though you may not come out of this connection, um, let me put it this way. While it may not necessarily be the most positive, happily ever after, you know, like Disney movie, okay, there's still a lot of learning involved in this. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad relationship. It's just a relationship or connection with a lot of learning involved. Okay. As for his feelings, like I said, if the devil is speaking to feelings, it could be very, very sensual. It could be physical, carnal, okay, root chakra based, desire, lust, that kind of thing. But I'm not necessarily seeing I'm not seeing the other kind of cards that speak to a more spiritual, more love, like, you know, the Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, you know, these more whole and multifaceted kind of romantic feelings, if that makes sense. It seems to be almost a little one-sided almost. And it could be passionate for sure. That's what I'm seeing around that. Let me pull some additional cards around that. Actually, you know what? Let me pull instead. Let me pull some cards for you from my soulmate oracle here. Engagement ring. So it could be, again, partnership, a relationship that needs to evolve into the next phase. So again, growth, healing the inner child, as I mentioned. But with paradise here, it could bring a lot of happiness. It could bring a lot of enjoying each other and playfulness. Okay. With the engagement ring here, you know, looks like there could be a potential commitment. But look, with the mirror here, you've got the mirror is like I said, it's like looking at yourself and introspection. It says reflect our wounds, mirror each other, self-image. So it feels like there could be something there for sure, but there's a lot of learning involved. Those other tarot cards are not, those were not like the happiest, typical happy cards, if you will, for that connection. You're saying it's just the beginning, so guidance would be just take your time. You're so welcome, though. You have a good evening, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you next time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and complete the general reading for the last two signs, and I'm going to log off. So I'm going to go ahead and read Aquarius. This is a general reading for Aquarius, and then I go into Pisces. So Aquarius, as usual, the Hangman here in the reverse, looking at things from a different perspective through a different lens. King of Cups, maybe doing some not being as open about your feelings at the moment, okay? Queen of Wands in the reverse as well, Two of Pentacles, and the Devil in the reverse. Aquarian energy can be so hard to interpret, I think. I think the individuals can be there's a lot of depth, I feel, in Aquarians in general, but they could also be a little like all over the place is what's coming to mind, so yeah, I feel like for those of you that are watching that this may resonate with, you could be finding yourselves not being overly emotional and instead trying to take some time cultivating like that inner joy, connecting with self, enjoying your own company, okay, and trying to, as always and as usual, keeping an open mind and looking at things from different angles, different perspectives. This Two of Pentacles feels like, in this sense, more of an emotional card, and with the Four of Swords here in the reverse, there could be some rest. I just feel like this is more of an overall introspective, kind of energy for Aquarians. All right, and with the Devil here in the reverse, there could be some release work going on and some learning, some new learnings with that Page of Sword. Again, kind of like that mental energy that Aquarians generally tend to have. There could be a desire to learn something new, or some of you may be doing some reading, some researching, but spending time to self here with that Nine of Swords. Yeah, this whole reading, all of these cards, these inversions, it all seems to be like very internal energy at this time for Aquarians in general. A lot of introspective work. Yeah. And with the Knight of Cups here, I feel like for some of the Aquarians that are watching, this could be, I don't feel that it's a love reading. It's not like about relationships necessarily, but with the Knight of Cups, some of you may feel like you have love to give. Like you have, maybe there's someone in mind that you like. But aside from this card, everything else here points to very internal energy, internal work, introspective work, doing shadow work, even releasing things, analyzing things, weighing pros and cons, and really just spending time to self and enjoying your own company. Okay. As you're going through this kind of like, it seems like just an internal process. That's what it seems like. That's what I'm picking up on for Aquarians. Which brings me to the last sign that I'm going to do a quick general read for, and then I'm going to end this live because it's been like 2.5 hours, but I'm going to go ahead and read Pisces. What are the energies that are surrounding Pisces at the moment? Pisces, Knight of Cups, Eight of Swords in the reverse, Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and a Knight of Pentacles upright. Very interesting, with these two being kind of almost in opposition. Let's get another card. King of Cups also in reverse. I keep pulling, all night I've been pulling the same kind of set of cards for most of the signs. So I really do feel that the collective as a general is going through very similar experiences. But with the Knight of Cups, Piscean here might find himself or herself in a very, just in a charismatic, it might be feeling charismatic, they might be feeling creative, they might be tapping in or tuning into their creativity. Okay. Pisces being a water sign, and Knight of Cups, does align to that. But the Eight of Swords here in the reverse, you want to make sure that you're not falling any kind of victim mindset, okay? Or not doing that internal work and looking inwardly for where you as a Piscean, okay, might be at fault for things, or how you may have contributed to the situation that you may be finding yourself in. That's what that Eight of Swords a lot of times speak to, is being able to look at yourself and say, okay, maybe I am responsible for that, or this was my part in that. And so with the Page of Pentacles here in the reverse, I'm reading that as kind of like the process of what we just talked about. There's some learnings involved for Pisces, okay? And this might be a slow process, an uncomfortable process, but it's a slow and steady, we will get there at our own pace kind of energy with that Knight of Pentacles, because I'm finding that with the King of Cups here in the reverse, this is going to be a process. It's going to take some time before the Knight of Cups energy can fully develop into that Queen of Cups energy, and then finally into that King of Cups energy. So that just means that, there's a process here needs to take place. It might take some time, all right, for the Piscean to get there, but they need to make sure that they're doing that introspective work and not shying away from it. And there's going to be some learnings, okay? This is a process. All right, so for Pisces that are watching and for which this resonates, take your time and make sure you're carefully evaluating how you may have kind of brought this on yourself, okay? How you may have contributed into any situations that you may be finding yourself in which you're now having to do, again, some of that kind of like internal work analysis. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. I just pulled another clarification card around that Eight of Swords. With the Five of Pentacles, the guidance is to release inner conflicts, to release fears, scarcity, lack mindsets, just any self-limiting kind of beliefs, negative emotions, things like that. Yeah, Eight of Cups also in the reverse. This is a card of discernment. This is about walking away from the things that don't serve you. Okay, so Pisces, Pisceans have a lot of work to do here in this regard, so that they can move again from that kind of Knight of Cups energy to that King of Cups energy and find kind of return home and find themselves, okay, and get to a better kind of like emotional state overall. I'm sorry, AU11E1, what do you mean one-sided though, like with your reading? One-sided meaning very selfish, like, because we have pulled the Devil card, and so as it relates to relationships, that's not necessarily the most supportive card in a connection, okay? So instead of finding cards that are more harmonious, like, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, these kind of like more soulmate cards, or like more harmonious, loving kind of cards, instead, we talked about the Devil, and the Devil can mean so many things. But as it relates to a relationship, it's just not the most supportive energy overall. And it could be, like I said, one-sided, meaning like, he could be somebody that at least initially enters in a relationship looking for what he can gain, okay, he or she or whatever. Does that make sense? That's what I mean by one-sided. It's like entering into a partnership with only what one can gain in mind. That's what I mean by one-sided. Okay. All right. So actually, I have read all of the signs because Pisces was the last one, and I'm not seeing any more questions in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and close this because I've been on for 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's time to get off. All right, everyone. As always, I'm so grateful and thankful for everyone that tunes in and joins the live. Make sure that you're liking the page, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and checking in whenever those notifications pop up, because I'll be going live and I'll be answering your questions. Thanks again. Good night.